He's got that cool intro. Yeah. New comics. Let's talk about them.
All right.
I
I don't know if I have new comics, but I have new to me comics.
New to you comics count, even if it's a back issue. Back issues
But
totally count.
that's something I could probably ask you because I've been seeing people post on Instagram. Did the Green Lanterns actually go back to having rings and being in a core?
Good question.
Because last time I was around, they didn't have a power battery. Most of them didn't have rings.
I think that's one of them that I'm kind of far behind on. Hey, look who's here.
Hello.
Oh,
What's up, man?
what's up?
Coming out of the dark ages again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be worse.
That's what I was talking about before the show.
You could live in Detroit. I mean, that'd be pretty bad.
I think.
Yeah, Go ahead. What were you saying?
I was going to say I think Detroit's the only city that rivals ours in crime.
I don't know. Chicago's up there.
Chicago
Chicago's up
is it?
there. Yeah, someone was showing this video, like you can hear some gunfire in the distance in Chicago. I was thinking, like, man, I think I had more restful sleep in Baghdad.
Oh man.
Yeah. You guys been picking up any of the Daniel Sempre foils?
No.
Or like, I mean, they've probably had like 20 of these bad boys, like different.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to, but I don't think I bought anything really new, and even the newest stuff I buy is probably about a year old when I get around to it. Like this.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're probably out.
This is probably the newest book I own.
Oh yeah, I think I got one of those somewhere.
Yeah. I got it just for the DC logo.
Yeah, that one's a cool one. Maybe I have that one, maybe I don't. I got too much. What's this one? Oh yeah, that's not the same one. Green Lantern. Yeah, I got that one.
Yeah. I read it. It's not bad.
Yes, it wasn't awful. It wasn't awful. What have you read any Absolute stuffs? Absolute Batman.
I've read the first issue of the 3 of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. But that's it.
Think of those.
They're all right. Like, I don't want to say they're bad. I just felt like it could have been more different.
Could have been.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's still Bruce and Diana and Clark. Like, it could have been anything, you know?
Yeah, I'm okay with different takes of those characters. What about you there, Rotigo? You pick up any of the Absolute stuff?
I'm pretty fully on board with the Absolute Superman.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew I was coming on tonight, or was gonna hope to come on tonight, and since Tim's on, I had to bring what little foils I have. So Absolute Superman's like the only one that I'm actually picking up foils for just randomly. So I got, oh, you probably can't see it because I'm all blurred.
The noir version?
Oh man.
The noir version foil, and then the second printing #1 foil.
Oh, nice.
See, I never understood why they do second prints with these like super elaborate covers. You know, like it's the second.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I get
it. Outside of DC and stuff, I keep seeing like Transformers or something is like on 10th printing, and they're still coming out with like 4 different covers for like 10th printing of issue 1.
Absurd. That's absurd.
Holy moly.
Oh yeah, okay, I got that. I got that one too.
Yeah.
Superman. I got this one. I got the cover for the A cover, not the A cover, but the first print. That was pretty cool. I think I did all the logo foils for all the new.
I think that's the main reason, the deciding factor, me and even picking them up, was the logo foils.
Yeah, the logo.
I got the logo foils of all 3. But yeah.
Oh yeah. That's
And then
nice.
Superman.
The Wonder Woman one is weird. I don't know why. Just the weird W's.
Yeah. I thought the only one I really liked the art on was Superman. I thought it was weird choices for interior art. Like Batman and Wonder Woman.
Yeah. But I mean,
But-
it's popular for January of 2025. Absolute Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. Their current issues for whatever that month was, or were #1 sales. So DC had the top 3 out of the top 5.
It's Batman has been #1 for 4 months, and that just takes all the FOMO out of it for me because I know there'll be plenty in the back issue bins.
Yeah, but if you look at the top 10 comics for January 2024, there are no DC comics. They only have the 1, 2, and the 3 spot. The rest are all indies and Marvel.
Really?
Yeah.
You think Justice League would be doing okay? That looks good.
It looks good. I was at my LCS today, and they had like an abundance of back issues for this current Justice League run, which was nuts. But I agree. It looked good. I picked up this really interesting issue of New Gods #1. It's an acetate cover.
Oh,
I'm always down with an acetate cover.
Yeah, and this was just sitting on my LCS. I got it for regular cover price. And I was like, "What acetate?" Like
They did an
acetate without the
acetate
gate.
for they did an acetate for a recent Superman book, where on the front it's Clark Kent, and then, or is it Superman, and then you open it and it's Clark Kent basically, or
Nice.
the
That may be actually pretty cool.
I might have that. I think I
Owens
know what you're
Comics.
talking about.
What's up?
yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's within the last year or two.
yeah.
So
I don't know where it'll be, but
I'm always down with an acetate cover.
Tim, did you pick up the Batman werewolf cover?
no. I want to.
Yeah, Batman. It's really hard. It's super foily.
Those are the
Batman
things that
werewolf.
bother me most about not buying new comics, is especially the Batman minis. Like I know there's Full Moon,
I think that's what that one is for.
Dark Patterns or something going on.
Yeah.
And I still need to finish the Off-World. Like I think there's 2 issues of that I never got.
The last issue of that just came out like 4 months after issue 5 or something crazy like that. It took forever to end that.
That's what's crazy. The last Black Label I bought new was The Last Days of Lex Luthor, and I was looking around, and I don't even think that's
the third
come out.
the third one or whatever is not even out yet.
Yeah.
I have no idea when it's going to be out.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember picking up issue 1 because I was excited for issue 1 because Yannick Paquette did the cover art for like the A cover or B cover or whatever, and he was going to be at Comic-Con. I was like, oh, I'm going to get this Yannick Paquette cover, and he never showed. So I was like, oh, I got this, man, just to have him sign, and he never showed up. So.
Oh man.
Story of my life, really. I have the Batman Noir. Did you pick up the Batman Noir version?
Oh, cool. I've almost bought the ash can that looks like that so many times.
Oh, there's an ash can for that? I didn't know that.
Yeah, like the very first Absolute thing that ever come out was an ash can that looks just like that. It was out like 3 months before. It was from a con.
I didn't know.
But,
I'll have to check it out. See if I can
yeah.
get a copy.
I mean, every time I look at them, they're about 100. So.
Oh, okay, not awful.
Yeah.
I'm right now on eBay. I'm eyeballing a book. It's DC Rebirth #1, but it's like the classic. I don't even think I have it up here. Regular. Oh yeah, right here. It's this cover, but it's a foil cover. And it's in the interior is German. So I don't know why the Germans got the cool cover, the cool foily cover, and we didn't. But
yeah, well, you remember the Death of Superman? The Mexicans had like 2 or 3 of their own
cool variants. Yeah.
So that was interesting.
When my brother was in Mexico City, he went to like a legit comic shop that sold like comic books and other stuff, and he said like the comic books there are so weird. Like, cause he doesn't collect comics, but he knows the story. He kind of knows what the cover should be. Like, there's all kinds of like weird variants he's never even seen before. So
Yeah.
that's my goal, is to get down to Mexico City, check out a comic shop, just start buying books and sending them home. Might be cheaper that way now, with the tariffs going on.
Yeah.
Save some money. Let's go
Yeah, I
right to
don't
the
know.
source. I forget who it was. Image, I think, said they got to jack up their books another $1 to offset the price, because everything. I didn't realize that everything was printed in Canada. I had no clue.
Yeah, I had never heard of that.
Yeah.
But
Most of the comic books are printed in the Great White North. That's bizarre.
they'll still be $1 when I get them out of the bins.
That's true. That's true. What would you say out of the last few months? What have been like your big pickups?
My biggest one, I was eyeing for like about 10 months. And like I just said, I love Batman miniseries. One I didn't have was
That's
The
right.
Long
Yeah.
Halloween.
You picked up the whole run for that, didn't you?
Yeah, I had noticed it was always expensive. And when I really started wanting to track it down, the Penguin show came out. And that was the first time I ever heard of a key being in this. And that's this issue.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Which is the first Sophia Falcone. But if you look these up, they're like, you'll see them listed anywhere from $250 to like $450. But I think they sell around $225, $250. And I waited long enough and got this for about $150.
Nice.
Which is super cheap. I've been trying to get it at about $200 and just kept missing auctions and not having good offers. This is a free comic book day I picked this up too. And then Tony will like it.
Nice.
The logo foil.
What year did that come out? Is that recent?
Let's see.
I think
I have
I would
most.
assume.
Batman Day.
Oh, was it a Batman Day foil?
I think it. Well, I don't know about the foil, but I think the issue was
Oh, okay.
like a Batman Day issue or something.
1996.
96. Okay. That makes sense, because it's like I picked up every foil from New Comic Book Day for the last like 5 years, and I don't remember that one.
There's a brand new. I think it just come out from what I saw on eBay. It's a facsimile of this, and there's a facsimile foil of just this issue.
Yeah, I saw a lot of the non-foil ones at the shop yesterday or Wednesday.
This is a famous creative team. They did, I believe, Superman for All Seasons. They did another mini right after this. It's sort of a sequel. Now I'm blanking on the name.
Dark Victory.
But they also did the Batman Legends of the Dark Knight Halloween specials. There's 3 of them that'll have a similar cover with like a pumpkin or something on it. But none of those other books. Dark Victory, that's the other series. But none of those books are expensive. I mean, for the most part, they're $1 bin to $5 books. But for some reason, especially this first issue and the 6th issue, they're like $100 books now of this. And then every other book's going for like 15. So that was a tough thing to track down because I just did not want to pay, $200+ for a 13 issue series. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
What about you? You pick up. What are your like big pickups out of recent time?
I mostly just pick up monthlies now. Like I don't go for the grails anymore. I guess having said that, I did pick up Action 1082, 1 in 25, the Tom Grummett variant.
Oh wow, okay, yeah, that's
just
nice.
an awesome. It's just a great cover by like one of my favorite Superman artists. So I wasn't
Tom
gonna turn
Cromwell?
that down and paid a little extra. I don't know how much. The shop I go to, I love going there because they're so close and they're really friendly. But sometimes I think they overinflate their prices a bit on
Jack
things.
of the prices.
So
Yeah,
hopefully
the
I
Tom Cromwell.
got it for for a decent price.
Yeah, the
Um,
only Tom Grommet I have signature wise is let me see if I can make myself bigger. See if I remember how to do this. There we go. All right. So the only Tom Grommet I have is out of the Superman gallery.
oh yeah,
Um, and he did this one right here, and that's his signature right down there.
that's awesome.
Tom Grommet. And he did that with Jerry Ordway, so
Yep.
I got them both to sign it, so it's kind of nice. Yeah, I like Tom's work. I think he does a fantastic job.
Did you check your back issues to see if you still had that crypto grail?
Oh, the God.
The what is it?
No, no, I'm pretty. I've been thinning my collection over like the last year or two, and so some issues that are now hot have have made their way out. So
Oh
yeah,
man,
Yeah, not me. I'm the opposite. My comic room is like a black hole. Something comes in,
yeah.
it never goes out.
do you have those crypto books?
I don't. I thought that I might have, but I went and looked, and it was a different crypto cover. It's just a random crypto cover, no key or anything.
It's
Darn, but
those covers are from probably my favorite period in DC, like right right before Flashpoint and
yeah,
the New 52.
I,
That,
yeah, that was a good
that
time.
was a
I
good
mean,
time.
I didn't mind New 52. I know a lot of people said they didn't care for it, but I mean, it was a lot better than like Future State was.
Well, I mean, think about it though. That same period, we had like the best Green Lantern run of all time.
Yeah,
Like that was when Blackest Night and all that was happening. So it was good times for DC.
yeah, man, those were the days, weren't
Yeah,
they?
Justice Society was like a great book. But I do have
Yeah.
something from that time. Let's see if I can find it. I went out of my way to pick this book up. I was looking for it. Something cool about that time period was characters were progressing. Like
That's a key issue.
Nightwing became Batman. This is when Damian became Robin. I had picked this up in the shop and I had like a fifth print. It's like gray looking. I wanted to find this specific issue because I had ordered something online. I had been picking up a lot of Nightwing lately and noticed in my CLZ that this variant existed. So I wanted to pick up a first print to match. So I'm a huge Nightwing fan.
But yeah, I think that's also that Batman Robin cover. I think it's a first appearance of Professor Pig too.
Oh, really? It might be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very confident that it is.
In this series, they sort of tried to create his own rogues. So you got like Professor Pig, White Rabbit, Flamingo.
All the
There
animals.
might be some more. Yeah.
All the animals.
Yeah. It's pretty cool if you read because I've got them put away in order now. This is the Nightwing box. But there's a really cool story in here where he basically goes to this outlaw motorcycle race on an island. So like all the villains are there, heroes are there. It's like, allowed to happen. And in that race, they have the villains from the old Batman, like Professor Pig and Flamingo, are in that race too, and they're trying to kill Nightwing. And it's a great nod. Like those are most people might think, oh, those are Batman villains. Well, yes, but they came in when he was Batman. So it was a pretty cool story.
Yeah, that sounds like an interesting story. Yeah, I would say like some of the better issues I picked up recently. Oh God. Obviously, I think I've picked up almost every single Daniel Sampier variant: Green Lantern, Wonder Woman. I think this is called Green Lantern. Something else. I forget what it is. It's Green Lantern book with Star Sapphires on it. Shazam. Of course, I gotta have a foil Batman.
Yeah.
Black Canary on the Birds of Prey. This really rocking Poison Ivy cover.
What about Harley? Did they do one of her?
They did, but I didn't get it. So
you gotta have the complete set.
I didn't realize that this New Gods book and this New Gods book with the acetate cover were the same. It was the same book, same story. I didn't know that. So I just thought it was a cool cover, so I got it. Superwoman. I think this is a Birds of Prey cover again with Barbara Gordon Oracle. Nightwing.
Nice.
Power Girl. Aquaman. Whoever this lady is, I can't remember her name. I think that's like 99% of them. Of just the Danny Sampier runs of foils.
Is that Challengers of the Unknown book?
It is Challengers of the Unknown, you're right.
Okay.
Which was also released another foil that I picked up. That's in here somewhere. But it seemed like that run, if they did a foil cover of the person, they did a foil cover of the A cover too. Like here's like the Superwoman cover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, plus all my foils are in top loaders, so that probably doesn't make it better.
I remember seeing those, and they did like the old 70s style characters, if you get what I'm like.
Oh yeah.
The characters on the cover 3 times in different poses, and then there's like a Justice League one. Yeah. Those are things that have caught my eye when I'm not buying stuff new, but I'm too busy collecting logo foils still, slowly but surely.
I think Jose Luis Garcia did all those. I think I got him to sign a bunch.
I think so. Yeah, it was like one of the old timey artists.
Yeah. I forget what issue it was. No, it was my Justice League foil, which is right here. I think this is what you're talking about. Like that style of art.
Yeah.
Like
the old 70s league.
Yeah, old 70s. So I got Jose Luis Garcia Lopez to sign it. And I have like the signature series bags where you just slide the comic book in. It has like a window that they could sign. And I gave it to Jose to sign. And he's like, "Oh, I don't like this." And I was like, "What are you talking about? Like, this is great artwork. Like, you don't even like your own stuff?" And he's like, "No, I don't like these window bags." I was like, "Oh."
I'll sign where I want to.
Sorry, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It was really awkward. But I like Jose. He doesn't charge for signatures, and he's a cool dude altogether.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been an interesting year last year. So, is there any big cons coming up to St. Louis that you guys go to, or shows?
There's a con I haven't been to in a while, and I don't know how many people know about it. He comes like once or twice a year, and it's, if you go to the website, it's like EP Guides, and he's just this dude that'll hold cons in like a ballroom of a hotel, and he's been doing this for 20-30 years. Like I used to say I bought 2/3 of my collection, but I've bought so much since then it probably ain't as much, but it'd be like $100 for $40 for 100 comics. And he just buys collections. Anything could be in there. Like, I've got stuff like real old Green Lanterns, old Justice League. You probably don't care about it. The last time I went, I got a whole bunch of Harley from the first volume. But like a Harley, I think I got a Harley #1 for like $5 from him. Like the first issue of Harley. And he comes usually in June and December. But I haven't went the last few times because of hotel prices. he's actually moved over to like East St. Louis where he holds a convention. And I'm not a big fan of going to East St. Louis. It's in Collinsville for anyone that lives in St. Louis, but Collinsville, I guess, is okay, but you still have to go like through East St. Louis to get to Collinsville.
Is that the one part of town where you got to roll through with like your windows up and just like don't stop?
you can't speed because there's a lot of cops, but you want to get through it as quick as possible. But he used to be like in Chesterfield and like the nice area, like basically around where you went to STL Comics, Tony's where he used to be.
Yeah, I remember. That was a fun trip. I got to make that kind of journey again, man. That was so fun.
Oh man,
my kids were asking who I was doing a show with, and I'm like, "Do you remember when STL Comics opened, and we had to wear a mask?" And my friend came, and they're like, "We remember STL opening. We remember having to wear a mask, but we don't remember anyone named Tony." Like, really?
This store's like 3 times as packed now since you were there.
It is the best shop I've ever been to, but it's a 45-minute drive one way from my house. I do actually work past it, so I could stop on the way home from work, but I'm tired, and when I leave work at 2 usually, so you could beat traffic. Otherwise, I'd be going on to like the worst highway to be in traffic on during rush hour if I stop. But
I don't know about that, man. I might have you beat there for traffic. So on the rare occasion I do have to go into the office. In the rare occasion I do have to go in the office, it's 4 miles from my house. On the way home, sometimes it takes me 45 minutes to an hour.
Holy moly!
To get home, and if I stand on top of my house, I can see the building. You know, off the distance, very faint. I can see it. It takes me an hour.
You just reminded me of a Simpsons episode where he goes and he gets stuck in traffic, and like his house is right there. He's been gone for hours, and the kids could see him from the house. But another reason I haven't been to STL, there's actually a new shop in St. Louis. I guess it's about a year old now. And it's called Tater Tot Comics, and it's actually in Arnold, which is probably about a 15-minute drive for me. And I brought these just because I knew you two were going to be here. They did mystery bags. So I have 3 mystery comics I'll show. I got mystery slabs. One was 15. I think one was 25. One was 40. And I actually picked this up. I literally realized I did not have this book, Tony.
Hold on, let me make you big.
And I went there the next day, and this book was sitting there. Low grade, but
holy. Hey, I'll take it.
I forget what I paid. I want to say it was like $25. You could probably go back on my videos and prove what I'm saying is wrong, because I would have said the price then, but super cheap. I'm sort of on a warpath. This cover reminds me of, there's a Justice League cover like this. There's a All-Star Squadron cover with Shazam, and there's a DC Presents. I now have all those covers, but the DC Presents one, issue 49.
Nice.
But that was super cool. I think the first book I had got out of the mystery bags, this is New Gods 7, the first appearance of Steppenwolf, who I'll be honest, no, character I didn't know existed before the Justice League movie. I probably could have named everyone else associated with Darkseid, but there's his first appearance. Crazily enough, well, I'll do another book that Tony will love first. I got this.
Ooh.
A nice Harley book.
Yeah, that looks familiar.
The old
TBCS 9.8. What serial number did you get?
This is, I think we talked about this before, Tony. You had pointed this out to me. I have 205 out of 250. Matthew Mayhew exclusive. Yep. Says on the back here. And then the last one I got, I couldn't believe. Not the greatest book in the world, but what makes it fun is this is Retrotigo's favorite artist. A John Romita Jr. cover signed by John Romita Jr.
Man, that's a rare Pokemon card.
Yeah, for those that don't know, I mainly collect Pokemon cards, and right now it's absolute mayhem to try and collect Pokemon. You know it's bad when collecting comics is cheaper than that.
Jeez. Did you pick up any slabs? Are you a big slab guy, Retro Tigo?
No, not at all. I have 3 total. I have one that's Hawkman number 5 from the newest series. It was foil cover. It was like one of the best covers from that run, not including the B covers for that series. So I got that slabbed. It was 9.8, and it was like, I don't know, $40 or something like that.
Not bad.
Excuse me. And then I have an Action Comics from April 1975, which was my birth year. I started collecting all the issues, any that I could find, Marvel, DC, any from April 75 for my birth month and year. So I got a bunch of those, and then since Superman's my favorite, I tracked that down. I don't have the Superman version slabbed, and then and that's a 9.8, I think, too. And then I have Death of Superman signed by Dan Jurgens and maybe Breeding. I'd have to look at it again. It's been a while since I got it out. 9.8. So I've got
I
3 slabs total.
Hey man, slabs aren't for everyone. I know there's some people that are like super anti-slab. They don't even own one. Even if you gave them one that they really wanted, they wouldn't take it. They hate slabs that much. But yeah, speaking of Dan Jurgens, like he was recently at Baltimore Comic Con. I was chatting with him, and you know he his prices are like way up there now. Like, he used to be like in 20. I met him in 20 something, and gosh, he was like buy one get one free. It seemed like. Now he's outrageous. Hey, look who popped in. Flexi Comics.
Hey,
what's going on? Long time no see.
Speaking of Dan Jurgens, some people might not know, I actually just got out and reread the whole series. He did Batman Rebirth, and that was the longest running. I'm sorry, Batman Beyond Rebirth. That was the longest running Batman Beyond series, and it's sort of weird because it sort of takes place like after Future's End, if you know what that is, where like the cyborgs had happened. But what was really cool about that series is it's like a continuation of the Batman Beyond continuity from the Dennyverse that, of course, took place after this weird miniseries. But he started bringing elements that came into Batman after the original Batman Beyond series, like seeing Nightwing, seeing Damian, seeing characters like that and how they fit into the Batman Beyond world. I can't recommend it enough. I just reread it, and it is fantastic read. Yeah.
It's a good run. I got
really
Dan good. I got Dan Jurgens too this past year. Signed every single Batman Beyond Rebirth.
Oh, nice.
Cover, including the A's. The only one that I don't have is the sketch cover variant signed by Dan Jurgens. Obviously, because it'd be weird to just get a sketch cover signed. And I didn't want to pay for that. He also signed the foil, the convention exclusive. So
nice.
I went all out on Batman Beyond and Dan Jurgens.
I've been looking at there's a facsimile foil of the original Batman Beyond #1.
I've got it.
Like I want to get that. I think they just make foils of everything now. Like there's foils of I'm trying to think. There's so many. Oh, like Justice League #1. Like all those old books have foil reprints now.
Any key issue from back in the day is getting a foil now.
Yeah.
I see him almost every week at the shop.
I was looking, they have speaking of like Batman logo foils, there's like these old timey ones. There's a gold one and like a cracked ice one. And I was looking at them.
Those. Yeah.
They're actually reprints of old Batman keys. Like the cracked ice is first Mr. Freeze. The red one, I think, is first Poison Ivy. And I was like, huh. Like, I think reprinting old stuff like that's funner because unless you're rich, you might not be able to read that per
some of
se.
us will
You know
never
what I
ever
mean?
see that issue. Like, when they do
You know,
like
like
an
a
action
Batman
comic.
Beyond one.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that's a little bit more expensive, but most people could get that if they really wanted it. Like, it's weirder to reprint like a newer book like that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree. Why would they do that for a new book? But
Yeah.
my Batman Beyond book is sitting at CBCS right now. I sent in like 33 books.
Is it signed?
Yeah, yep. Signed by
Who'd you get it signed?
Rick Burchett. He did a lot of Batman Beyond stuff, and he's also involved in the animated series for Batman Beyond. So I was like, he did the book and he did the show. Like, this is a no-brainer, man.
There was the last big con that I went to in St. Louis was the Wizard World, like way back when I only had one baby. And I knew a lot of the bigger names associated with the animated series. Like, for those that don't know, I love the Batman animated series. And I met an artist there, and I didn't know who he was, and he was a complete jerk to me. So I didn't get anything done by him. And it was Ty Templeton. So later I learned he was huge in the animated verse, like did a ton of the art on the comics. And
I've heard that about him, actually. But yeah, Flicks right. There's a ton of foils now. Everything's a foil. You get
everything's a foil.
Fourth print, issue 3 C cover, it'll do a foil for whatever reason. It'll be a foil.
See, I could see like key issues, logo foils. But like you said, there's foils for stuff that don't even need a foil. Like an issue nobody wants a fourth printing thing.
Yeah, didn't you, Richo? Didn't you have like a fourth print foil? Was that for Absolute Superman?
Second print of issue 1.
Second print issue 1.
But DC is like crazy in general with their covers. Like every single issue now has like 6 variant covers, one of which is a foil. So it's
the foil covers. That might be my fault. That might be my fault.
If you'll be hunting comics and using like your CLZ app, and heaven help you if you need to look at Batman, because you'll come across an issue and there's issue 1000 on set. You'll be scrolling for 2 pages and you go like 30 issues, and it's like another 3 scrolls for the next anniversary with 100 covers.
Yeah, it's getting out of hand. They also did a foil for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, the movie tie-in comic.
There's an Aquaman I've been looking at, but it's like it just says Aquaman, but it looks older, like a 70s Aquaman style. Yes, that right there. Yep.
Just happen to have it, Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Did you get like there's a Swamp Thing like that too?
Yes, I was actually about to say that, and it's my least favorite foil that I own.
Really?
I actually have buyer's remorse with it, and I'll show you why. So this might be a little tough to see, but I'm going to do my best here. So everybody loves Swamp Thing, right? Including me. Yeah, so here's the issue in question. Okay, it just says Swamp Thing, it's something special, but you can't really tell online looking at it, on a live stream, but it is really pixelated. Like, it's really bad, very pixelated. Like, when you were a teenager, just messing around, printing out cool. It's like they printed a 480p image and made it big, so it looks awful. And I think I figured out why, and I'll show you why. So I saw it and was like, hey, let me pick that up. And on the back, I know why. It has the logo that people fear, and they have a lot of reason to fear. So here it is.
Wow.
The Comic Tom foil stamp of doom.
Wow.
Yeah. Flix is right. Graphic done on Microsoft Paint. She would know. Yeah, she's a cool person. Look at who's got Southern Comic Book Geek is joining us now. Jedi Farce is in here. Let's see what's for it. Sorry, pal. You're too late. But yeah, this is like a really low res image. I can't believe they did that. That just blows my mind that It's so bad. It's so bad.
The sad thing is that just makes me want it even more. Just to see it in person.
just to have it. But it is.
Yeah.
When I saw it, I was like, "Is this like a mistake? Like, did they give this to me? It was like a misprint or something?" But no, I know someone else that picked it up, and they're diehard Swamp Thing fan. I asked them, like, "Hey, man, are my eyes deceiving me? Like, do I need to go get an eye exam?" He's like, "No, dude, it is hot garbage."
You know what they're doing other than foils? That's really cool. All right, I'm going to show it, and let's hope this works. I need a little bit of setup.
Oh, geez.
It might not work because of the
Man.
computer.
The pixel variant.
I think the light from the computer is going to throw it off.
Oh, the glow.
The glow
Yeah.
in the dark.
Glow in the dark logos. I just picked this up. But they have a few of these. I didn't even realize I was trying to find this one. There's a Green Lantern one. There's a Flash one. There is a Batman and Superman, but I had those already. So very cool. I picked up 2. A Nightwing logo foil.
I thought about picking that one up,
Which
but
is
it's
very
like a
cool.
random issue, though. You know what I mean? Like, at least wait till it's like some kind of special issue.
Something I wasn't even thinking of showing, but I got to show it just for you, Tony.
Oh, jeez.
This is a logo foil Tony has wanted for so long.
If it's the one I think it is, yeah, it was right. And no, I don't want it.
The Harley logo foil.
I'm good. I'll pass.
How much did that cost you, Tim?
Like 25. Not too bad. I remember if you were buying them new, Tony, weren't they like, if you're there when they drop at Big Time Collectibles or whatever, they'd be like, what, 30 plus shipping?
It depends. I mean, yeah, I think that particular one was around $25 to $30, but I mean, I've seen
Yeah.
them down for like $19.
Yeah, I've seen that, the Aquaman, Swamp Thing, and Wonder Woman, the original Wonder Woman one, are all right around 25 shipped on eBay. That's why I've kind of been zeroing in on those because it's sort of under the original price. So,
Man, everyone's a comedian.
I can't believe I didn't think to bring that ahead of time. I just now remembered it.
Yeah, well, I think my whole collection, I own like one Harley Quinn book. And the only reason I bought it because the guy who did the cover lives within walking distance, of my local shop. So actually I ran into him last week at the grocery store.
When you came to St. Louis, I gave you some stuff. One thing I purposely gave you has brought me so much joy because I spot it from time to time. You did your room tour. It's the Harley. For those who don't know, it's the Harley's like little black book variant. But every time you do a room tour or anything, I look and I always see it, and it brings me such joy to see the Harley book. I slipped, kind of put it in the middle of some stuff and snuck it into your collection.
I didn't even notice it until, you gave it to me. I quick looked at it, and then we went inside and we, tore up the shop. I didn't even realize what it was until it was down the road and I stopped at a gas station to use the restroom and get some fuel. And I was looking at my books and I was like, that son of a bitch.
It's probably been the best gift I've ever given. Because this is probably the first time we've even talked about it, that is Harley. And I always spot it, and it just brings me such joy.
Yeah, well, and I can't do anything with it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to hide it. But, I like the fact that it's yellow, because then it blends in. You can't really read it. You know what I mean? You can't really
and it's technically a Batman, but it's the Harley variant
it is.
of Batman.
It is.
So,
I guess it fits. Could have been worse.
Yeah.
Could have been a
I
lot
could have
worse.
just gave you an actual Harley.
Yeah. And coincidentally, my daughter loves the superhero cartoon, for little kids that has little kid Wonder Woman, little kid Bat, whatever. And her favorite character is the little girl Harley.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? You know she kills people, right? You want to put that in a
Yeah.
kids cartoon? Like, okay.
My littlest was obsessed with Harley, and she'd never seen any TV or nothing. Just would see the figure, the comics. And when the Joker movie was coming up, I told her, "Hey, a famous singer is going to play Harley." So I played her some Lady Gaga song. She never talks about Harley anymore. After hearing Lady Gaga one time.
I don't know if you caught the show recently, not recently, but I think it was like a year or two ago. So I went on a cruise, right? My daughter and I went on a cruise for our birthday, and the whole family was there. And so they printed these out on. They printed them out, and the whole family had them. So we're sitting at this fancy dinner, right? I mean, fancy. Everyone's got like a suit and tie, like it is really fancy. And the waiter's coming over, and he's giving my little daughter a cake, and they all got these things. They're all like laughing hysterically. I'm like, listen, the waiter has no clue what this is. Now we all just look like we're absolutely insane.
Oh man, I forgot about
once I
that.
saw my wife reach into her purse thing and pull these out, and I was like, how much is a divorce cost? I forget.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. In public, of all places, on a cruise in the middle of the ocean.
Oh man. All the good memories are flooding back. I think the scariest thing I've ever seen on YouTube is when Fu and them glittered you and you were like dying on screen.
I'm choking on glitter, right? And then
Yeah.
my wife and kids add more glitter behind me, and they're just dumping it on my head. I'm just caked in glitter. Unscripted. Like my wife was just watching it with our daughters on the big screen, and they're like, "Hey, I got glitter." Dump, 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 dump.
Oh man.
Yeah, and it's funny. I haven't talked to Squatch since. Yeah, I haven't talked to Squatch since. That's bizarre.
Yeah,
we got to send Retro Tigo some glitter.
That reminds me.
My daughter has enough for everyone. It's all over our carpet right now. So,
as is every parent
book coming out that I'm really excited for, and Tony, I know you are too. Do you know what this new book is?
I can't imagine.
In about 2 months' time, when I saw the news, one, I couldn't believe it was real, and then two, I knew that I had to buy one and send it to you. And that is, they're coming out with an Harley Quinn April Fool's Day special issue that is a scratch and sniff cover. And if you scratch it, it smells like Harley Quinn's farts.
I don't need it.
So
you're right. I remember reading about that. Yeah, I don't need that.
If we could pull as a
the hell away.
to get as many copies as we can, pre-scratch them and pack them.
Pre-scratch them. Just to open that box, it's just like a hot fart. Just yeah. Whoever does that will be on a no contact list. Yeah,
I was seriously considering doing it, and I don't have your info wrote down for mailing to you, and I'm like, there's no way Tony's ever going to give me his number.
No, now you said that, good luck. I'm just going to put a return to sender notice on my mailbox. Whatever it is, I don't want it. Send it back.
I'm sure we could get Lasso in on it. You'd never expect it from him.
I would. Now that you say that, I'm expecting it from everybody. Even packages going to my wife will be intercepted and screened. Because my wife, get this, my wife is quite the prankster. So she had ordered something off of Amazon, and I did too. And I used her account, so I assumed it was what I ordered. No, she had ordered fart spray. I don't know what her intentions were, but I saw it and I confiscated it. It was like someone was sending an illegal shipment of weapons to America's enemies. Okay, I intercepted it. It's mine now.
Maybe she knows about the Harley book and is planning ahead.
No, she doesn't. I don't think so. That reminds me of the book for Crazy Jane, Doom Patrol. And you could scratch the mirror and you could get like a different personality of Jane. That was pretty cool. I almost sent that one in to get signed by the lady who played Crazy Jane. They're doing a mail-in signing, but I didn't do it in time.
You're reminding me of all these cool little things I never got around to buying. Like that book I always meant to pick up. I did pick up the I don't have it handy. Actually, I might. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah. This was actually a really cool series. It was a 6-issue mini called Sergeant Rock and the Army of the Dead. And this was a cool, they actually did a polybag variant, which is cool. I'm always down for any 90s gimmick.
The most recent one they did for that is the Monkey King.
Yeah. I think I saw you post that, and I do have that around here somewhere.
Yeah, I picked up 2, one to open and one to keep, like in the little envelope.
I didn't even know this existed. I do have the original, but I just came across this. They reprinted this. This is a reprint.
Nice.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is nice.
But
very nice. Very nice.
Think of about showing everything.
Yeah, I'm tapped too. What about you, Mr. Tigo?
I just have these. These are cool.
Oh, I just have these insane treasury foils.
Well, yeah. Well, these are newer, so they're not the originals, but still very cool.
Tim, did you know that they just put out the Superman Flash race?
The race
one of those.
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't pick it up. It was $15. I didn't want to spend that day.
I've seen they've done a couple more of these. Like I think there's a Batman one, like another Batman one. And I mean, I think they're cool. For me, I didn't have this Batman, which is why I got this. And then of course this, you got to pick that up. I think I'd much rather, because at $15 a piece, they're 15 to 25 for the original most of the time. You know, you'd be much better just buying that.
And get a foil.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Add the foil, but yeah, Flix hit it right on the head. She said she remembers when foils were special and they meant something.
I'm a fan of these cool covers they do, but like you said, it's just too much, you know.
Yeah.
Like we could sit here and I could talk about 2 or 3 different kind of foils I like, and that's the tip of the iceberg of the different foils, you know.
Well, I like in the 90s when they used the foil for like kooky gimmicks. It wasn't just an all foil cover. It was like to highlight silvery parts, like on the cover or stuff like that.
Or a certain, like they did. I saw one that was just the foil was just the Superman logo.
Right.
Like you could see all Superman, but his chest.
Superman had a lot of really good foils like that in the 90s, early 2000s. Like you're talking about, Jason, like the perfect mixture of it, you know. Definitely.
I mean, I say that, and then my favorite cover is the foil, or I don't even know if it's foil. It's like the plastic-esque foil-esque cover of Superman
like the
Returns.
embossed?
Yeah, like the embossed one.
Yeah, I need to bring back embossed covers. Bring them back. I like those.
Even stuff like polybagged, like, I mean, they shouldn't go crazy with it, but it'd be cool to get like one special polybag a year.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the last one I got was the Death of Superman one, like a year ago or whatever.
I picked up the DC Zombies. They did a polybag one, and it looked like a body bag. They call it the body bag variant. And there's like a chaser in there. I think it was like a Supergirl zombie foil. I think it was foil and embossed, and that was the one everyone was getting. So I just got the virgin variant. I think no embossedness, no foily.
I think I got that foil bag too, but I didn't open mine. I didn't know there was different covers inside.
Yeah, there's like 4 different covers. There's just the regular one, has the title, gives a barcode, it's cover A. I got the virgin variant, which is just the art. There's the embossed, and then the foil embossed. foil embosses the chaser. I think there's limited to like 300 copies.
To tell you how far I'm behind on especially new stuff, me and Dave a year or two ago were going crazy with Death of Superman. There was a Death of Superman special.
That was a good episode. Yeah.
Since then, they did a Return to Superman special, and I was only made aware of it probably like 4 or 5 months ago. And there's tons of covers. Like they redid the blue and green. Remember, like the different when Superboy and Steel and all them first appeared.
Yep.
I was like, I had no idea this existed, and there's 50 million covers. So
I almost
there's one
bought
cover.
all of those, but they were
You got
like
them all too?
they were all like $10 a piece or something. I was like, I
Even
can't
when
spend
I
like
looked,
$40.
when I looked, it was well after they'd come out, and it was still like that. Or maybe you could get the whole set of them for like $5 off, but you're still spending. I mean, after shipping and taxes, you're spending $50-$60. And I think I will get them at some point, but
are you counting foreign prints? Is like they count as like their own category?
The only thing
like
the only time I will ever count foreign prints is having a complete collection of Superman 75. That's it.
You'd be lucky. When I went to India, I saw a Superman 75.
Really?
In Hindu. And first I was like, because they do comic books a little weird in different countries. Like, I didn't think it was a real comic book, but I was flipping through it. No, it was a real comic book printed in Hindu of the death of Superman.
I've actually spoken to a couple people like that. I think there's an actual India guy and like a Sweden or a Norway guy on Instagram. And that's like their name, like Comics India, Comics Sweden. And I've talked to them a couple times, like, if there's Superman 75, let me know. And they're like, not really that they know of. So, but it might not be like Superman 75 to them. You know what I mean? It's whatever to them.
Yeah.
So it might just be like a Death of Superman comic per se.
I'm heading back to Iceland and Germany probably next year, and I'm definitely going to hit up. I used to live in Germany, so I'm going to hit up some of the old German comic book shops I didn't buy anything from, and I'm just going to be like, yeah, I'm buying this, I'm buying this, I'm buying this, I'm buying this. Yeah, I'm gonna go hog wild. There's one in Berlin that I really like, so I'm gonna go back and buy way too much stuff. Probably a whole nother suitcase for the stuff, but whatever. I like the foreign comics.
I've actually seen a few of them. Tater Tots has had a handful of foreign comics, but I'm not necessarily interested in them. Like if it's a Superman 75 variant or something like I think I have a German Loot Crate version of the famous Harley Adam Hughes.
Okay. Yeah.
Something that's like, if you want like a cover that's like $1,000 US, but you get it for $20 from Germany, that's something I'm interested in.
Yeah, I got a bunch of these super I guess Shazam 28, the first Black Adam. This is
nice.
The Spanish, as in like from Spain, not Central Latin America, Spanish version. So it's pretty wild. I looked up the artist on this cover, and he's still around. He's very old, but he still does like art and stuff. And I thought about just reaching out to him and say, "Hey, you want to sign this for me?"
He completely redid that cover?
Well, he did, and I didn't know why, and I looked it up, and apparently back then, there was some law, in the early stages of the European Union, you couldn't use the original art from the book. You had to do your own. So the way around that is they took the cover and someone just redid the art, so you knew what issue it was, but so that's why it looks different, because it was someone else's interpretation of the same cover.
I've heard of that, because if you get into certain bands, like I'm a big Beatles fan, for instance, if in TV shows over there, everything had to be in like the local language. So you'll come across, like, if you really dig the Beatles singing a song in French, and it might be because it was used in a TV show, or like the Monkees would do their theme song, "Hey, hey, we're the Monkees," and like a bunch of different languages for the European countries that it had to be in their language.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's why I really enjoy like one of my time in Europe picking up books. Yeah, because some of those countries like you can only get it in. Was that Lopez? See, I don't recall, but I don't recognize that name. I don't want to be wrong, so I'm going to say I don't know. The name does not look familiar to me, but I very well could be thinking of something else.
We're talking about foreign comics, not even realizing SCG's in the chat. He's
I
real
got
big
to meet
into that.
him. I got to meet him face to face. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Way cooler in person. Yeah, that was a fun year. He's one of the people on Instagram that I wish I had your ability to just go to whatever Comic Con you want. There's a couple people out there that are like one day they're in Orlando, next day they're in San Diego, a week later they're in New York Comic Con. It's like, what are you doing? Like, I wish I had that. If it's not within 60 miles of me, like, forget it. Like, I'm never going. No way. No way. But, yeah, we hit the hour mark. Tim, do you have anything coming up on your channel? I'll give you the floor.
I'm very sporadic on my channel. I've done a couple shorts recently. I couldn't tell you when the next video will be. It'll just be when I happen to get a haul, but nothing pre-planned, just as it happens.
As it happens? Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. What about you, Mr. Retrotigo? I know you're kind of like a ghost in a good way. You're kind of
I'm a recluse these days.
yeah.
No, I have ideas to make videos. I just haven't gotten around to them. My 5-year-old keeps us pretty busy, so every time I get an idea, it's always not at a time to film. So, but I'm still around. I still watch your guys' videos. I
Yeah,
just
I
don't
see
make
you're
them.
probably more active on Instagram than
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Is that a Ghost Machine hoodie?
It is.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, my my passion is turned now from Marvel and DC, and I'm almost like entirely a Ghost Machine reader now. I read all the titles that have come out so far.
Me and him were talking on Instagram. It was probably the first time we had talked in a little bit, and he was telling me about Ghost Machine, and I literally messaged you the next day. My timeline, it says Ghost Machine started following you on Instagram. It's like, I never heard of it. Now it's in my feed all the time after just talking to him about it once.
So, like, the Ghost Machine Instagram account followed you?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Like the very next day after he was telling me about it, because he was telling me that's what he was
Lucky
into, and I'm like, oh, I've never heard of it, and then boom, there it is.
I don't have anybody like in the industry follow me. That'd be pretty wild. I wouldn't know what to do. Like, I'd probably just talk to them, try to reach out to them. Like, hey, what's going on? You want to come over for hamburgers or something? What kind of beer you like? You coming over?
I
Man,
get some of those accounts to follow me, and I didn't look too hard at Ghost Machine, but most of the time it's like just basically advertising accounts.
Yeah,
But
like,
still, yeah,
it's so cool. I talked to Jeff Johns probably 2 years ago at Baltimore Comic Con, and I was on his panel, and he was talking about Geiger, and he showed like test footage from Geiger, the TV show.
Oh, really?
Putting out,
Yeah,
and it was wild.
Yeah, I heard that their focus is on comics now, but it's going to be a potential like multimedia universe.
Yeah.
So I'm interested. I got Geiger right here.
I love Geiger.
Well, you can't see everything because it's like
I don't know if I like Geiger or if I just am more of a Jeff Johns fanboy. I don't know.
I mean he's writing probably 75% of the titles right now, and they're all good.
Yeah. He's an awesome dude. And he was telling the story how he got started in the industry. He just called whatever studios and said, "Can I have an internship?" And they said, "Yeah, come on down." And that boom, he got his foot in the door. He took off from there. I'm like, dude, like, what are the odds of that ever happening again? Probably zero. Probably zero. Man, I wish that would happen to me. just, hey, can I come work for you? Like, yeah, come on in.
Yeah.
No interview, no nothing. Just, yeah, come on in. Maybe in another life. Maybe in another life. But yeah, the only thing I have on my channel really is a lot of shorts, and I'm waiting for my big CBCS haul to come back. Like I said, there's 33 books in there, 3 of which I'm giving away, but the rest are all staying.
You did a good room tour not too long ago.
I liked that room tour video. The only problem was nobody else did, and that was my least popular room tour.
We see. I was probably I watched it. I think pretty quick after you released it, so I wouldn't. You know.
Yeah.
A lot of times when I come into your
people,
shorts, you already had 5,000 views.
So. There's one short that is making a comeback, so it got up to like 60,000 views, and then YouTube came in and was like, "Hey, we're gonna make this content safe for kids." And I appealed it, and they said, "Get lost, get out of here." And then it just flatlined. When you go into the studio, you can see it, nothing, like no views at all. And then just today, it went up another 5,000. I'm like, how does that happen? How does that work?
How do you make something safe for kids that when your videos are like pictures of comics and Teen Titans Go? How does it get safer?
Yeah. There's one where Cyborg was a worm coming out of Doomsday's butt, and apparently that's safe for kids. I don't know why, but it was really funny. They decided to make that safe for kids, but whatever. I'm getting some views out of it, and some subscribers, but yeah, hey, it worked for me. It gave me like 400 subscribers in like 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably an exaggeration, but that's what it felt like. It's one of those moments where I wake up, I'm sitting there eating breakfast, and I was like, oh, let me check some stats, and it just like exploded. Like, what, 89 subscribers like overnight? Like, how does that happen? Like,
I like shorts because sort of what Jason said, you have an idea, but not the time. Well, if you get 5 minutes, you just grab a box of comics and you got yourself a short, That's what I like
find the
shorts.
more popular ones are like new comic book day hauls. You know what I mean? Like, here they are.
Yeah.
With something in the background. Like, those do really, really, really well.
Dude, on my channel, I could do like a comic book haul regular video and get like 60 views. And then take the exact same comics, put like some Led Zeppelin on it, and just say comic book haul highlights and get 1,000 views. And it's like, may as well just do the shorts, less time and more views.
Less time, more views, more subs. Like, I think that's the way the kids are these days.
Yeah.
Checking in on some of my old videos that are still up. I'm pleasantly surprised to see some of them must have hit a slight algorithm bump or something, because I'll see it and it'll be like 300 views, and I'm like, whoa. Like, okay, great.
I noticed that I didn't make any videos for a few months, and I just happened to look at my YouTube thing, and I was getting more views not making videos than in like the months I released like 10 videos. Right. It's like, what the heck? Like, these old videos are doing better.
There was I'm not sure how long ago, but very recently, when that last short blew up, like, I noticed like YouTube, I must have caught like a tidal wave, because I was surfing on the wave, and it doesn't matter what I was posting, like, dude, it would jump to like 7,000 subscribers in like a few hours. 11, or not subscribers, but views. 11. I remember one I uploaded like on a random Tuesday afternoon, and by dinner time it had like 12,000 views. And I was like, oh. Like, where was this earlier? Like, when I cared way more about it. Now I could care less for a lot of it, and it's blowing up.
He was riding that wave until you posted that X-rated Teen Titans Go stuff.
Yeah, and then they put it on the YouTube Kids app, and then it absolutely flatlined. You can tell when they turn that knob.
Yeah.
Nothing. Not one view for like a month. And then today, all of a sudden, it's starting to pick back up again. I don't know why.
You made it back to adult YouTube.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Enough parents reported it.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is fun. We'll have to do this again sometime. We'll have to
definitely
get Mr. Lasso to join us, or maybe someone else, maybe Flix, or maybe Southern Comic Book Geek, or Jedi, or whoever. Cohen's comics. If this is the Cohen,
I'm
I think
always down to
he's
do
in,
something. I just won't know if I'm available till it's closer to time, you know?
Yeah, I get it.
Like I know me and
life comes
Jason have been
first.
talking about doing Phantom Zone for 2 years.
Yeah.
Still waiting for that next episode.
That-
We're on the edge of our seats.
That's why when Tony brought this up, I'm like, I think I'll be able to make that. Like one of the first things I did was like, can I invite Retrotigo? Because we've been trying to do a show forever. So
Yeah, let's do it again. But hey, appreciate you guys coming in, and everyone
No
else.
problem.
Thanks for the
Yeah,
offer.
we got Southern Comic Book Geek. We got Flicks and Comics. We got Jedi Farce. We got who else came in? And Cohen are the ones who chimed in. So tip of the hat to you guys.
Yeah.
But,
Southern Red Coat's probably my favorite, followed by Geiger. So I think I'm just
Redcoat
like
and Geiger.
yeah, Red Coat and Geiger are my two favorites so
Kinda
far
like
on Ghost Machine.
Geiger was cool. Did you see that comic book that not Geiger, but Ghost Machine put out with like the big promo comic? And if you went to like, I think it was MegaCon last year, like they were all there, like everyone, and you can get that book signed
Yeah.
by like 15 different people. Yeah,
I was very I was very disappointed to see that because there was no way I was going to be there. They had like foils, they had like everything. And I was like, I want it all,
man.
but I
yeah,
can't.
I want it all too. I'm a big Geiger Ghost Machine fan too, and dang it, I didn't get even. No one even reached out like, "Hey man, you want to get this book?" Like, nah, I'm just.
Right.
But yeah, that'd be nice. Maybe who knows? Maybe someday I'll run into Jeff Johns again. So who knows?
Yeah.
It only took me like 20 years. Hopefully, I don't have to wait another 20.
I'm not a comic expert, but something I've learned is I've never bought a Jeff Johns book I was disappointed in. Like it don't matter what he writes, like he's done Superman, Batman, Justice Society, Justice League, Green Lantern.
The guy
Now
made
he's doing
Aquaman
DC.
a badass.
Yeah, it's the only Aquaman series I own in full, and I basically went and got it because he wrote it. So
He can make Aquaman cool.
yeah,
Yeah. All right, fellas. Let's wrap things up. Thanks for everyone for stopping by, and yeah, we'll do this again sometime. This is fun.
definitely.
Sweet.
See
Good,
ya.
fellas.
Thanks, guys.